Happy Sunday, YouTube. Life treating you good? I have a small issue today due to some time restraints on my part. I didn't have time to write a script for this episode like I do for most of them. It's a very loose script, just notes mostly of how to proceed while going through these days, important things to talk about. Due to some external circumstances, I didn't have the opportunity to do that. The biggest one being I'm going to a Super Smash Bros. Tournament for the 3DS. See if I can win some monies off that. Not likely. I'm not that good, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's why forgive and bear with me for today as we get through this one. It's just a story day. The investigation team is going to be meeting in their secret, quote-unquote, base right in the middle of June S and discuss how to proceed with the new information they're getting. Last night, we saw a mysterious image on the TV, which was obviously Kanji Tatsumi, but none of these guys could put two and two together to make five. We'll see if that happens tonight. Still don't know exactly who we saw. They do know that it is a male, and that throws off the prior assumption that all of the victims were female. Well, they all were up till this point. Now, this has new information been added, and the case has been changed. Now, I am perpetuating sort of the mysterious side of events that are going on right now for people who haven't played the game, but just so that everyone is aware, I do know who the killer is. I know bits and pieces of how the rest of the story plays out beyond what I have played up to before, which is again about the middle to late end of July. I've rescued, let's say, this next victim, Kanji, and then the one after, and then got to the dungeon after that, and that is where I stopped, but I still know how a lot of that plays out. This game has multiple endings, a bad, a good, and a true, to my understanding. Obviously, I'm going to be shooting for the true ending. I don't know how those three come into play in the context of the story, but I'm going to figure it out before we get to that point. If it's anything like Persona 3, I'm going to assume the bad ending comes before the real end of the game. It's sort of like a cop-out, things go bad. If the anime has shown me anything, maybe the bad ending is something I already know about. So there is a really, really interesting episode near the end of the first half of the anime that I've seen up to, so that's why I know a little bit more about the story than I've gotten to at this point. Now we spend a good minute having Yukiko bust a gut. All these pauses are really working to her disadvantage with that laugh. I think her thigh there is really gonna hurt. Look at her go at it. Slap-a-dap-a-doo.
Recently too.
Yeah, you probably heard it during this conversation here. I'm not sure why the voice actress for Chie adds a stammer to her all the time. It's like if I was doing her voiceover, but without a script. I don't know if that's a conscious choice by the actor for the character, or if that's just something she does for everybody. Kind of bizarre. Skip anything that happens in the house. Nanako and Dojima are sitting there, but you can't do any social link things with them. There's nothing in the fridge, so let's just head up to the room and take a look at the TV. The Midnight Channel. There we go. More clearly Kanji this time. See his face a little bit more than the silhouette he was last time. So I guess fair is fair in that regard. I might just be stupid, but I don't think this was clarified well enough in the game. The rumor for the Midnight Channel is if you look into a TV on a rainy night, then it shows up. But does the show just play regardless of if you're looking at the TV? Does it know if you're looking at the TV and then it turns on? Is that how it works? Because otherwise I think everyone in town would know about the Midnight Channel. If it just turns on regardless of people watching, I cannot imagine every single police officer in Inaba missing the Midnight Channel when it rains, because it rains quite a bit. And now here's Yosuke with perhaps the most awkwardly timed segue into a awkward question ever.
Which one's your type?
Why is he asking about this now? Why is this so important? If you pick Chie or Yukiko, you're not gonna get anything that you just tell Yosuke what you think about them. If you say both, you get some understanding, I believe. And if you say neither, you get some courage. And I wanted the courage. That may or may not be my true thoughts about them. I still don't want to spoil which female I'm going to be romancing. You're just going to have to wait till that point. I'm actually, not sure entirely myself. I thought I know who, but I may have changed my mind. I guess that doesn't change what is on your end. You still don't know, but that is something for the future. Thanks for bringing that up, Yosuke. Very inappropriate time. Thank you so much for watching, gals and guys. Thanks for bearing with me through this very impromptu day. I know that's how I did things at the start of the playthrough, but I've tried to make it a little more structured now. Tomorrow we continue our investigation, and then it's back to some social links, and there is a dungeon crawl in our future, so be sure to stick around. Have a happy, I will see you tomorrow.